Hi everyone, Erin Woods here. I am so excited to be going live. I'm 1 minute early because I'm giving it just a minute to on my profile. All right, this is why we do. I am so excited to be going live today with my friend Gretchen Huijskens, my friend, visionary, and now author Gretchen Huijskens. Her book, Our Voices Rising, officially launches today. This is like the Christmas morning. It has been so much fun to share about it, to talk about it. Trades of Hope is giving a $15 coupon for every person that purchases the book today. And I've shared that information here in this live, but I am going to get Gretchen on camera as soon as she appears and ask her some questions, share a little bit more about the book with you and kind of the whys behind it and the choices that Gretchen has made that have changed so many lives, including mine. I've been a partner with Trades of Hope for 10 years. Gretchen was one of the first people that I met in person, in live person from Trades of Hope. And I just will never forget the biggest hug that she gave me, and that she knew my name, and she had on the cutest dress. I remember her dress. So I'm going to see if I can get Gretchen on with me. She's not viewing me yet. So hopefully she'll be here in just a second, and we'll get this interview going. But I remember walking up, I was so nervous, the first retreat that I ever went to with Trades of Hope over 9 years ago. And to meet the founders in person, it felt like meeting celebrities at the time. And literally Gretchen was like, Erin. And I was just overwhelmed that she knew my name and that she was excited to meet me, because I was thrilled to meet her. There she is. All right. So I'm adding you to the broadcast and inviting beautiful Gretchen Huijskens, my friend. Hi.
Hi.
We did it.
We did
Yay.
it. Not a lot of technical difficulties.
No tech difficulties today. It is all just smooth sailing from here on out, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So I was just talking about the first time that we met, and that you were probably I think you were the very first like in the flesh person that I met from Trades of Hope, and you gave me the biggest hug, and you knew my name, and I loved your dress. So it was like all the things just made so much sense. Like I already knew you were an amazing woman.
Oh, well, thank you. And I knew you were too. And so you had been such a good impact on Trades of Hope already at that moment. And, we really appreciate that.
Well, the book has just made me so grateful. It's like I love that I've been able to be a partner with Trades of Hope for 10 years, but the book made me realize that you could have gone, and this is one of my questions, I'm going off script already, but like you could have gone in so many different directions, but you chose a path that brought so many others along with you. And I'm just so grateful for that. But I want to jump into the book for a minute,
okay,
and ask you just to kind of explain something I think that could be even confusing to people that are really familiar with Trades of Hope or think they're really familiar. And I want to read this quote from the book from page 141. It says, "I wanted to make sure that every partnership was dignified by the guardrails of development rather than characterized by the handouts of charity." So something that, a big part of your story and the creation of Trades of Hope is taking the development route versus charity. Yeah. And I think charity is something that more people are familiar with. It gives us that kind of like instant gratification. So it might be considered kind of the unpopular path to go with development. But why did you choose this road? And for somebody that might not be familiar, why is charity not always the answer?
Well, I ran a charity for 8 years pre-earthquake in Haiti. And that's where I realized there were just some shortcomings. There's still nothing wrong with charity, and charity is necessary, but I think that it's for specific situations. And I just felt like our charity was a Band-Aid on bigger issues. And, as far as like just seeing people be happier, being more fulfilled. Of course, I wanted to keep families together instead of, having the solution be that their children are adopted out to someone else. And so I think the idea of that sustainability and that long-term fix, that makes my heart sing. because that's where the magic happens. And that's where you have this dignified partnership, like you mentioned, where it's not me handing something to you or you handing something to me. You know, the artisans and you and I are working all together. And they're a very important part of that equation. They do their part, we do our part, and hopefully we all rise together.
And I think you tell so many stories in the book about hard lessons that you learned. I think there's a mindset in the United States and about charitable giving. And there's things that as you're reading, you know, even as I'm reading the book, or as I see my church do different outreach projects and different things that we're exposed to and we think are so good, it's like kind of a re-education. But I think you do it in such a beautiful way that really does help educate people to find the lane that works best for the thing that they are trying to accomplish. So I think that's amazing. And it is an education. I mean, I've been learning for 10 years about understanding how my earrings are making somebody's life better, you know, on the other side of the globe. And that's something that we as partners are always trying to educate. So speaking of partners and Trades of Hope, you know, you used Trades of Hope as your vehicle for creating this development and creating jobs. And I've said this a couple different places today in posts, like you could have created a foundation, you could have created an artisan group, you could have sought, you know, a microfinancing program. But I'm super grateful, obviously, that you chose to create a direct sales business because it brought so many other women in. But what would you say to those that might question that decision, you know, to create a direct sales company to alleviate poverty and combat human trafficking?
Yeah, at the time it was kind of a novel idea, but I think that when, you know, we've said this before, when women gather, magic happens. Our friend Milan said that, and I think it's so true. I think that's how we accomplish something big, because each one of us can only accomplish so much. But when you allow other people into the equation, into the family, into that whole dynamic, that's where you can see the big change. If it was just me doing it, it would be so much less. And I'm such an introvert. So if you would have asked me, hey, Gretchen, you had a couple thousand new friends. Like, whoa. You know, I have 12 that I really like. I'm good. But it has been such a blessing. And having women like you, Erin, in my life, selfishly for me, has been such a blessing too. And I think that issues like human trafficking and orphan prevention are big issues, and it's not going to be even a dent with only one person doing anything, right? So I love that it gives a space, because also, you know, as a young mom in California, I had 2 little kids. I had a husband who had a career in which always needed to come first over any like little job I would have at that point. I wanted to be home with my kids. I wanted to make sure I was there for everything, and when they got home from school and all the things, right? So I remember feeling a little bit displaced, a little guilty that it didn't feel like enough. Honestly, I wanted more purpose in my life, and I always felt bad because like being a stay-at-home mom is super important and it should be so fulfilling, but I just felt like I was missing something. And so I look back at it and I think like, wow, that would have been a really good thing for me to do, to be a part of. And so, no, I really love it that, you know, I know for you were just staying home and it filled a hole for you and allowed you to feel purposeful. And again, that's that whole, like all the boats rising kind of thing, right? And that's how we knew that this is really such a God thing, because it's just so good on every level. And all these things we didn't even foresee.
Well,
so,
and that is kind of my next question, but I want to piggyback on what you just said about, you know, the way that you felt as a stay-at-home mom who wanted to do more. I mean, that's so many of our stories as partners. It's like, I mean, even when I started, I didn't really even know what human trafficking was. I certainly thought that the only way to really do anything about like poverty was to go on mission trips and, so my sort of way was to either look away and not do anything and feel kind of bad about that, but also like not really understand how I could actually enter into the conversation. And so you created this space through a direct sales business to allow thousands and thousands of women like me to enter into the conversation with confidence. And I think the book just gives me even more confidence to realize like, okay, like Gretchen had this, she paved this way, this path for us to walk and change the world, and like how lucky we are to have it. And I'm so grateful that you had that stirring in your heart, and that you created the space for all of us to go along with you. So what has been like the biggest surprise of the sisterhood and of the women in Trades of Hope and the community and the artisans? Because there's a sisterhood there too. Like there's definitely a global sisterhood that exists because of Trades of Hope. So what are kind of your favorite parts of that, or the biggest surprises from that?
Well, I think the friendships that came out of it and the meaning that to other partners that I know it has had has been beautiful. I will say that I think a really cool thing is the more, we get to know each other, the artisans get to know us, the partners get to know artisans. That's where we realize how similar we all are. Mm-hmm. As women, we all have, our biggest our biggest concerns, our biggest priorities are the same, mm-hmm. right? We want to take care of our children. We want to be in a safe environment. We want our families to thrive, and whatever that looks like. And I think that's been really cool too. We were in Haiti, and Stacy, who works with us, shared with one of the artisans a picture of her kids, and she said thank you to this artisan because when you put food on your table, I can put food on my table, and we really work together. And they all started crying, like the whole group at the table. And I think that was just another good example. Like everybody wants to be valued. Everyone wants to feel they have purpose. Everyone wants to feel like they have something to contribute to the world. And I love the dignity and the, sorry, all too real around here.
I know. I'm shocked that Scout, she came in and hopped on my lap for a second, and then she went away.
So yeah, just so many beautiful things that come from relationship, mm-hmm. that you don't get in charity. Charity is somebody handing somebody something.
Yeah.
And again, sometimes necessary, right? But
yeah,
not all the time.
It's that full circle. It's like that, like I talk about a lot in my life. Like I crave things that give me like that feedback loop, right? Like if I do something, if dogs of hope, Melanie said, but it's not just like the satisfaction that I did something. It's the satisfaction on both sides of the equation. That like, when I've met artisans in person, knowing that they are savvy businesswomen and unapologetic salespeople and designers, and they're tenacious and hungry. It's like, yeah, like I want to work with you. I want to do this together to improve both of our lives. And it's really, it's just fantastic. It's a great idea. I'm so glad that you did it. I'm so grateful for it every day. I can't imagine.
I'm grateful you said yes.
I know. I almost didn't. So then my kind of last-ish question is that the book feels like an invitation in a lot of ways. And, you are a woman of action. I feel like I'm a woman of action. Like when, I feel like if somebody offers me something, I'm pretty quick to say yes and let's go. Or if I get an idea, or if you get mm-hmm. So a lot of times when you read a book, it's a passive thing. You read the book, you're like, oh, that was awesome. And then you put it down and go on with your life, right? Well, I feel like your book is actually setting some, a real clear invitation into being a woman of action or a man of action. Mm-hmm. So what is your hope for your readers as kind of their RSVP, and what are you inviting people into with this book?
Well, I would love for Americans to understand how much power they have as consumers, mm-hmm. that their dollars have power, and they can positively affect things like human trafficking and global poverty. I mean, things that we wouldn't, it's hard to connect unless you really think about every step of the process, you know? And so I would love for everyone to start becoming more aware and start making those little tweaks along the way so that other women can rise, women they may never meet, you know? I would also love for more people to join Trades of Hope, because that's where, you know, we used to say a lot, and I don't think we've said it lately, but it's still true. We would love to create this army of marketers, these women all across the United States. And we have a beautiful sisterhood right now, but there's a direct correlation with how many partners we have, even if they're having, you know, one pop up a month, and how many we have to how much we can purchase. And it's always been, and it's very funny because it always averages out to be about the same thing. So if we have twice as many women tomorrow as we do today, then we get to order twice as much, which means there are twice as many jobs. It means people are working full-time instead of part-time, which they may be, especially in cases like Haiti and things like that, where it's just really hard to get enough work to them to keep them all going. And so in our groups. And so, yeah, I would love for more women and men, that's great too, to join Trades of Hope and know that they really can make a difference. And we would love to have them. So.
I agree. I mean, I've seen the company go through so many iterations in the last decade, and I've been so grateful to ebb and flow. But it's always better when we're flowing. It's always better when we're growing. It's better for us as partners. It's you know, it's a wonderful gift and blessing to my family to have this job, and I know for thousands of other partners that are currently, you know, active and working with Trades of Hope. But then I know what it means for our artisans too, when, you know, even the smallest business, you know, it's that collective effort that we all come together. Like you said, one person, if you had just opened up a boutique online, like, the impact that you could have had would never match what we've been able to do together in these past 12 years. And it's just so exciting. And today feels like, you know, not to use more book language, but it does feel like a new chapter in Trades of Hope. And I hope that so many people connect with the book, grab the book, maybe because they're curious about what I've been talking about for 10 years, or they are curious to learn a little bit more, or they want to be a partner with Trades of Hope, or they want to shop, or they want to host, or they want to be part of the community, because it's all of those things together that make this impact and sustain these jobs for real women around the world. And that's, you've got I see your pictures behind you. I know you had your book launch last night, and I love your kind of mural that you created of all these names and faces of women that have come along. Yeah, look at that. It's beautiful. I don't think you should ever take it down. But it's so many names and faces and real lives that are directly impacted because of you decided to take a different path. And I know that you wrote this book for the artisans and for us as partners, but I'm just so proud of you as my friend, and I'm gonna cry. You know, just we've all kind of grown up together, and I'm so proud of Elizabeth, and I'm so proud of the home team, and just super, super proud today to be a partner with Trades of Hope and do what we do. So thank you, Gretchen, so much for everything that you've done, and the fearlessness and boldness that you've taken every step of the way, even deciding to write a book and making it happen. Like, how many people say, I'm gonna write a book, and you actually did it. And that's why you're such a good leader and such a good steward, because you take action. You're never just about the words. So thank you for being who you are. I love you so much, and I hope everybody that watched this runs and buys the book, runs and becomes a partner, runs and shops, runs and hosts a pop-up, does all the things, because how wonderful that we get to change the world through beautiful jewelry, bags, scarves, home decor. All right, I know you've got more interviews, so have a wonderful day. Enjoy your beautiful launch.
Thank you.
I love you, my friend.
So much. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay.